Hello, peers. Today, let's talk about the Heaven's Gate cult. This project's done by Tobias Modiano, Rowan Chapman, Sasha Hoop, Mesbo Caro, and Jasper Karkik. Our essential question is, what are the broader cultural implications of the Heaven's Gate cult's existence, particularly in relation to media coverage and societal dynamics in the United States from the mid-1970s to the 1990s? Heaven's Gate background. To understand why the Heaven's Gate cult emerged, it's important to understand the previous movements and events that influenced/inspired it. To start, we have the Second Great Awakening, which happened during the late 18th to early 19th century. It set the precedent for unconventional religious movements and the rise of apocalyptic beliefs, which, as you can see, were manifested in the Heaven's Gate cult. Next, we have Vietnam and Watergate in the late 1930s and early 1940s. These two kind of scandals kind of showed mistrust in the government and showed that people can't trust in the state. Now they have to maybe move their trust in the church, which marked the rise of cults and psychological trauma/mass distrust with the government. Next, there was a rise of technological anxiety and new fascinations in the supernatural, which obviously led to more of the Heaven's Gate cult's teachings surrounding UFOs and supernatural things of that nature. Here we have some pictures of the Watergate building, obviously referencing Nixon's trial. Then we have a picture referencing the Second Great Awakening. And lastly, we have a picture referencing protests of the Vietnam War, where media showed a difference to what the government was saying, which promoted mistrust. With all the distrust and new interest in the supernatural, people became more susceptible to being brought into the cult that offers, quote-unquote, salvation. The Heaven's Gate cult offered salvation beyond the physical realm, and members believed in cosmic transformation. They saw Marshall Applewhite, one of the cult's founders, as a modern-day prophet who would one day bring them to ascension. Marshall Applewhite and Bonnie Nettles claimed they were witnesses in the Book of Revelation. They traveled across the U.S., attracting followers, and in 1976, after some time, they stopped recruiting and adopted a more monotheistic lifestyle, emphasizing celibacy, strict discipline, and communal living, where they kind of went off the map and did their own thing. This continued for a while until, sadly, Nettles' death in 1985. After Nettles' death in 1985, Applewhite kind of changed things up. He reinterpreted the teachings, and people would transfer to a new extracurricular bodies upon death, and shift from physical and spiritual ascension, which kind of led to an increased focus on UFOs and isolations and things of that nature, kind of referencing more of the supernatural. This kind of all culminated in the doctrine of the final mass suicide. Applewhite convinced members that death was the only way to ascend, culminating in the 1997 mass suicide, where 39 members believed they would join a spacecraft trailing comet Hale-Bopp. And in doing so, they would have to kill themselves and release their spirits to join the UFO. During this time, after the suicide, it was highly televised, and the cult's legacy went global. It became one of the most infamous religious cult movements, and it was extremely accentuated by the media, which you're going to see later in this slide.